Think about how much energy we spend every single day trying to look important. We dress for the envy of strangers, we speak to showcase our intelligence, and we carefully curate our successes so the world can applaud us. Many years ago, there was a young martial artist named Jun who was remarkably gifted. His movements were fast as lightning, and his technique was flawless. But Jun's greatest talent was his desire to be seen. He went from village to village, intentionally picking fights in crowded market squares, purely so the crowds would gasp at his brilliance. One afternoon, Jun heard of an old master who lived quietly at the edge of a distant valley, meditating under a massive willow tree. Determined to prove his superiority, Jun marched to the valley. He found the elderly monk sitting peacefully on the grass next to a young village woman. Jun stepped forward, unsheathed his gleaming sword with a theatrical flourish, and shouted, "Old man, step forward and show me if your legendary skill lives up to the rumors." The old master did not look angry or surprised. He simply pointed to a wooden bucket overflowing with clear water. "If you can strike that bucket with your sword without spilling a single drop of water," the master said softly, "I will admit defeat." Jun laughed arrogantly, leaped into the air, and spun elegantly. He brought his blade down with terrifying speed, stopping it a mere millimeter above the water surface. It was a spectacular display of precision. Jun landed gracefully, waiting for them to gasp in awe. But the master remained entirely still. The valley was completely silent. There was no audience, no cheering crowd, just the quiet rustling of the willow tree. The master looked at the bucket, then looked up at Jun and asked, "The water is still, but tell me, young man, is your mind?" In that absolute silence, Jun felt a sudden, profound wave of emptiness. He realized that without a crowd to applaud his spin, the movement meant nothing. His entire identity was built on the opinions of strangers. The master walked over and said gently, "You shake your sword because you want the world to know you are strong. But a roaring river only makes noise because it is shallow. The deep ocean is entirely silent. True power never needs to show off because it has nothing to prove. When you are genuinely content with your own worth, the desire to impress others vanishes." Jun looked at his ornate sword, then at the master's simple, peaceful life. For the first time, he sheathed his weapon without making a sound and sat down in the quiet grass. My friends, you do not need to shout your value to the world. Let go of the exhausting chase for validation. Trust your own path, protect your inner peace, and find the unshakable strength that only grows in silence.